Talking USC football with Nick Dempsey from Conquest Chronicles, as we do each and every week. A little special edition with Nick here on a Monday afternoon. We've knocked out the quarterbacks as we get you set for 2017. We turn our attention to a talented core of running backs. You know, Nick, Ronald Jones, he's been one of my favorites since he stepped on the field. I just think he's a game changer, game breaker. There are a few little flaws in his game that he needs to shore up to become that nationally known guy that can be counted upon and possibly maybe even join Sam Darnold in the Heisman race.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something for USC to get back to having two guys in the Heisman race every year? But Ronald Jones he's very fast, incredibly elusive. The guy is hard to bring down. And when he touches the ball, he can explode and go the distance. He's that type of threat anytime he gets a touch. Now, he was not the starter last year. He sat behind Justin Davis, although he did get into the rotation. That was in large part because his pass blocking skills were not the greatest. Justin Davis's were much better, even though Ronald Jones was the better runner. Davis is gone. Ronald Jones has shown improvement in his pass blocking skills, but at this point now, it's really just about him just hitting the hole or making whatever cut he needs to hit the hole. And he's going to show explosiveness, and he's going to be a tough stop for opposing defenses. And it's really, obviously it's only going to help out Sam Darnold to have a running back who can hit 20 plus touches every game and get, average comfortably over 5 or 6 yards a touch. That's always been what Helton wants to do, despite who he has at quarterback and all his receiving options. He wants balance in the run and pass, and he absolutely wants a team that can run the ball for however many yards he needs to, even when everyone in the building knows you're going to run. So he's going to get Ronald Jones all kinds of touches. Now, he does like to rotate backs, though. And sometimes the way he rotates them frustrates USC fans. Rather than letting each back go for a series, he'll rotate them on plays. So right behind him, I would expect to see Cedric Ware start to get into the rotation. Ware last year was sort of the number 3 back behind Jones and Davis. Like I said, Davis is gone, so Ware didn't see a lot of touches last year, but when he did, he made the most of them. And so I would really expect him to see some time. Also helping out Ware is that as of right now, he's probably a better pass blocker than Ronald Jones. So that should definitely help him see more time on the field. And with with Davis gone, he'll get more touches just as a matter of course. Another guy you saw last year was Dominic Davis. He's a junior. He's been here 2 seasons. Or he's played 2 seasons, and in those 2 seasons, he's got all of 37 touches for a grand total of like 200 some yards. It's not a lot. He's very fast. He's also on the USC track team, but he just really hasn't had his chance to break in. And I don't know if he's going to get a chance to see really any more touches. He might see time on the service team because he's got Ware and Jones ahead of him, and then right behind him he's got 2 very talented freshmen, one a redshirt, one a true, that are probably have more talent than he does at running back. So Davis might get squeezed out of the conversation. Now coming in at running back 3, I think you got Vave Malapai. He 4 or 5-star recruit, Army All-American. Came in last year as a freshman, showed tremendous potential in camp, and then he got injured, missed his freshman season, had to redshirt. So he's back, he's healthy, he's had another camp or spring ball, and has shown a lot of promise. So he's probably coming in as the 3 back. And then behind him is the just absolutely electrifying 5-star running back, Stephen Carr. This guy, true freshman, he's an elite talent. The thing is that because you have 3 or even 4 solid running backs, there's going to be that impulse to run a redshirt him. The thing is, though, he might just be too good to do so. And it's also highly likely that during his recruitment, he was probably promised early playing time in his freshman season. I can't say that for sure, but I would imagine that's how it went down. So this is the guy that could shoot up the depth chart if he impresses in fall camp for sure, and if he makes the most of whatever touches he does get early. This is the guy who could leapfrog a few people in front of him. And all of a sudden, you've got 4 like highly touted elite backs at USC. He and Malapei could make an amazing duo once Ronald Jones and Aka Cedric Ware move on to wherever they're headed next. You could really see an amazing duo of running backs, the likes of which has been a while since we've seen. But USC has absolutely got back to that sort of running back U mentality. I'm not saying, the next Reggie Bush or the next, insert elite USC running back from history here, but there's certainly plenty of talent. I'm not going to say the next Marcus Allen is here on this depth chart, but I think there's a lot to be excited out of this running back core. There's plenty of talent. And there's so much, like at this point, like guys like Dominic Davis, who are very good, they're getting squeezed out. But it will be interesting to see how T. Martin, the offensive coordinator, and Clay Helton manage all these guys to get the touches they need to keep everybody healthy and fresh, but also getting the stats they need. So could be a very good time for the USC backfield just in general with Darnold and Jones and Ware and Carr and everybody else. There's going to be a lot of talent in that backfield and a lot of production on the ground for USC.
Yeah, Stephen Carr out of Fontana, the third-rated running back, according to 247 Sports in the Nation, the third-rated player in California, possibly the best state for high school football talent. The interesting thing about Malapei that I see here is that, so you got a new running backs coach in Dylan McCullough. Mm-hmm. And of course, there's scouting reports and track records, and he can see the stat sheet and see the pecking order coming into it. But Dominic Davis missed spring practice because of a concussion, and Ware missed it because of a foot injury. Mm-hmm. And Malapei got a ton of reps, and McCullough was extremely impressed with his durability, his toughness, running between the tackles, can protect and the passer and block and do all the little things without the ball in his hands, and was just very impressed. And when you impress the positions coach and he doesn't get a chance to see the other two guys firsthand at this point, and they might be a little bit hobbled coming into the summer, then maybe that gives him a little bit of an advantage to gain a couple more carries and get a little bit more playing time.
Yeah, and USC is in the last year or two has used 3+ running backs in the rotation, and they like to switch it up. So I would not be surprised if he got in. Honestly, I wouldn't even be that surprised if he leapfrog Ware at some point this season. But at this point, it feels like it's going to be Ronald Jones gets the ball until Ronald Jones doesn't want the ball anymore, or until Clay Helton pulls him out because he's just run himself to exhaustion. But having said that, I really could see him getting in Malapei getting in the rotation, making the most of his touches. He like you said, he takes advantage of his opportunities. And he does all the little things right. USC, I mean, they kept Ronald Jones as the number 2 running back because despite him being probably the best runner on the team, he didn't do the little things right. In particular, not the pass blocking is a little thing, but so they place a heavy emphasis on that. So if you can do that, you can climb up the step chart. But it's right now, it's probably going to be the Ronald Jones show. And that should be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, it's not a little thing when you get heat-seeking missiles coming off the edge headed at your Heisman Trophy candidate. So
very true.
Important. People don't look at it. They want to know, okay, this guy averaged 4.5 yards per carry, and this guy averaged 6 yards per carry. Why is he not playing? Well, because this guy can chip a guy that's coming off the edge to give Darnold a half second more to find somebody downfield and stay upright. All right, very good stuff. A stacked lineup of running backs at USC. Ronald Jones, of course, the headliner for now. I'm surprised that he caught 11 passes last year. I know we've discussed that. I think that they should be working on the hands and his ability to just swing out of the backfield or create some kind of mismatches for him downfield to get the ball in his hands in space, I would think that would be an opportunity that they could use Mr. Jones again as well in that capacity. Nick Dempsey, Conquest Chronicles, myself, we're breaking down USC position by position to get you set for the first week of August at USC. Nick, we always appreciate it.
Of course, Mark, anytime.